Okay, so yesterday we were talking about dialogues, and we're going to continue talking about dialogues, which was part A of section 1. The first thing that we're going to talk about, it's about dialogues involving agreement or disagreement. In this type of questions, in the TOEFL exam, you have to decide if the person agrees or disagrees with the first speaker. Okay, so to understand this or to catch the answers on the dialogues, you need to know these phrases. Here I have the first exercise. For example, I can say I agree. What do you think? Is this one this phrase expresses agreement or disagreement?
Disagreement?
Disagreement, that's right. So you place it here. What about I don't think so?
Disagreement.
Disagreement too. Okay, there you go. Can you please try this activity on your exercise and place the phrases where you think they belong? Hi Enrique, good afternoon.
Hi, teacher. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Fine,
We're
thank
working
you.
we're working here on the platform on
Okay.
the part 8 dialogues, and you're going to open the activity called suggestions, invitations, offers, and requests, etc.
Okay.
Okay, we already start with the first activity, which is agreement or disagreement. What you have to do is to move these phrases what you think they correspond, if they expresses agreement or if they express disagreement. Okay.
Okay.
Teacher, excuse me.
Yes, tell me.
The activity is in which box?
Okay, it's in the
Um,
box called
mhm.
part A, dialogues. And it's like in the
Okay.
middle, this one.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome.
Luis, I think
And
I am not in that course.
oh, give me a second. You should
Okay.
be. Sorry, Jenny, now you are.
No, I'm sorry. Uh,
Yes, tell me.
yeah, the thing is that my computer is a little bit slow. So
Yeah.
I don't know. Should I go to do the exercise?
You don't know if you could go to the end of the exercise?
No. I'm saying that where should I go to do the exercise?
Ah, get it. Okay. You are going to enter to your course, and then you
Uh-huh.
select the box called Part 8 Dialogues. And like in the middle of it, it's the exercise called Suggestions, Invitations, Offers, Requests, Agreeing or Disagreeing, and Special Verbs. Jenny, ¿ya te pareció el curso?
Yes,
Uh,
I am in the activity now.
Perfect. Sorry, Janine?
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Can we do it?
Do you want to do it with me?
Yes.
Okay, sure. Well, actually, that's the idea. Quiero que ustedes lo intenten y después lo vamos a hacer todos juntos para ver realmente cómo les fue, ¿no? Que ustedes vean cómo fue. Sin embargo, el ejercicio este está muy obvio porque en cuanto la seleccionan, les marca de qué lado tiene que ser.
No, yeah, I got the point of this exercise, but the thing is that I cannot go into the.
Oh, it's not loading?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
don't worry.
loaded. It's
Okay,
already
let's do it.
loaded.
Okay, it's on the third slide here on the bottom. It says slide 1, 2, and 3. You will go to the third slide, and let's do it together. Okay, if you're doing it by your own, it's okay. I just want to make sure that you know all the meanings of these phrases. So here I have, that's not what I think, and it's disagreement.
No.
This is like really obvious. I'm afraid I don't agree.
No, well, yes.
Tell me,
What I'm
Jenny.
saying is that I'm trying to enter
Uh-huh.
to the platform,
Okay.
but I'm in the first. How should I say this? The first page of the en la carátula or.
Get it. Okay, so you entered to the platform, right?
And then.
You're here?
So
So you have to choose TOEFL ITP preparation or go to
where it says dashboard.
yes, where it says dashboard. There you have your courses, and you are going to enter to the course called TOEFL ITP preparation. Okay, this is it. You click on it.
Okay.
And then here you have all the exercises that you can do during the week. You're going to go to Part A dialogues, this box here.
Okay.
And then you will go to the middle of this box and select suggestions, invitations, offers, etc.
Okay.
Okay, when you're here, this is the first slide. The second, which is like the topic, we're checking dialogues involving agreement and disagreement. And on the third slide, you have the exercise.
Okay.
Okay, you finished?
In the middle, sorry, is it in the middle of the
here, you have to select part A
Okay.
dialogues.
Ujú. Si regreso a si
Ajá.
regreso a ver la página contigo, me salgo de la plataforma y tengo que volver a empezar todo.
¿Cómo? Ah, no. Ok, ¿puede abrir otra pestaña donde pueda ver el curso? Por eso la videollamada la hicimos en una diferente para no tener que estar en la misma plataforma. Ok, vamos a ver. Yo si se fija, por ejemplo, aquí tengo la plataforma abierta y tengo en otra ventana, tengo la videollamada abierta. Sí, obviamente no van a poder ver lo que yo tengo en la pantalla mientras ustedes están haciendo los ejercicios. Quiero que ustedes hagan los ejercicios por su cuenta. Terminando el ejercicio, regresan a la videollamada
Ah, sí.
y voy a explicar los
Sí.
significados. ¿Vale? Ok. Tania, good afternoon. Tania, estamos haciendo un ejercicio. Bueno, creo que ya acabamos. Vamos, explico. Vas a entrar a tu plataforma en la sección donde dice Part A Dialogues. Ok, en this box. Vas a ir a la mitad y encuentras una actividad que se llama Suggestions, Invitations, Offers, Requests, etc. Estas son las diapositivas que vamos a trabajar el día de hoy. Sorry?
Ok, sí, estoy, voy aquí a meterme. Una disculpa por entrar a esta hora.
It's okay. Ok, chicos, ¿los demás ya terminamos? Can we check?
Yes, Luis.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, all these phrases that you have here are phrases that you will listen on the audio. You are not going to read these phrases on the answer sheet. You're going to listen to them on the audio. Okay, so you need to know that sometimes they might seem to be negative, like this one that says I don't either. But this one, even when it says something negative, this one is expressing agreement. Okay, and sometimes even words that says things like sure, okay, or probably, they expresses disagreement. So you need to understand when to use one and when to use the other one. Do you know the meaning of all these phrases, or do you have any questions about one or two?
Could be we have the meaning if you help us.
Okay, sure. Okay,
Yes.
number one, you have for agreement. Let's start with agreement. We have you bet. You bet. No voy a decir la traducción literaria, pues sería tú apostar, pero sería como decir apuesta que sí. Okay. If you say something like, I'm pretty sure that, I don't know, the Americans team is going to win this match. You said, oh, you bet. Apuesta que sí. Estoy expresando que estoy de acuerdo contigo. I'll say would be like, yo diría lo mismo. I'll say, so do I means yo también. So do I, yo también. Who wouldn't es como, ¿y quién no? Who wouldn't? ¿Y quién no? I'll second that. Es yo secundo eso. I don't either significa yo tampoco. Aquí es donde les decía, aunque dice yo tampoco, está expresando agreement. Si yo digo I don't like vegetables and you say I don't either, tanto ustedes como yo estamos de acuerdo. Entonces los dos están expresando agreement. ¿Ok? Yo tampoco. I feel the same way you do about it. Me siento igual que tú acerca de ello. You can say that again. Puedes repetirlo. And I couldn't agree with you more. No podría estar más de acuerdo contigo.
You can say that again. Is it agreement?
Yes, it's agreement.
Ujú.
Bueno, veámoslo de la manera opuesta, ¿no? A lo mejor en español no lo decimos así, pero por ejemplo, si yo digo Titanic es la peor película del mundo, me puedes decir, no vuelvas a decir eso. Lo opuesto, si yo digo Titanic es la mejor película del mundo, la manera sería decir, tú puedes repetir eso.
Ujú,
¿Ok?
sí.
Teacher, sorry, I couldn't agree with you more. What is the meaning in Spanish
Es,
like that?
yo no podría estar más de acuerdo contigo.
Uh,
Okay, now about disagreement, we have not really, not really. Es no, ¿en serio? O no, no es en serio. Vuelvo al ejemplo, ¿no? Titanic es la peor película. No es en serio, ¿verdad? I can't say I agree. I can't say I agree. No puedo decir que estoy de acuerdo. Neither do I, ni yo. Ni yo. O yo tampoco. Aquí hay que tener cuidado, por ejemplo, con el uso de neither e either. Porque las dos palabras se pueden, o las dos frases, neither do I y I don't either, se pueden traducir como yo tampoco. Sin embargo, neither siempre se utiliza de una manera negativa e either se utiliza siempre de una manera afirmativa. Neither es como la palabra never, por ejemplo, que siempre se utiliza en oraciones afirmativas. Nunca decimos algo como I don't never. Siempre decimos I never take a shower in the mornings. Okay, then we have I don't think so. Yo no lo creo. I don't think so. I couldn't agree with you less. Esta, si la comparamos, es lo opuesto a esta última. I couldn't agree with you more. And I couldn't agree with you less means yo no podría estar menos de acuerdo contigo. La palabra clave aquí es less. That's not what I think. Eso no es lo que yo creo o no es lo que yo pienso. I'm afraid I don't agree. Me temo que yo no estoy de acuerdo. I'm not so sure. No estoy muy seguro. Not necessarily. No necesariamente. Not necessarily. Probably not. Seguramente no. O probablemente no. And finally, I'm afraid not. Me temo que no. Me temo que no. Okay. Guys, any questions before I continue?
Yes.
Yeah, tell me.
In the first one that says you bet, it is not in Spanish like no sé.
Like what?
Ah, es que hay otra forma de decir no sé en inglés que
Ajá.
hay, pero no me acuerdo si es you bet.
Ok. You bet se traduce como apuéstalo. Ok. Podría ser utilizado en el contexto que menciona, como para decir no sé.
Ajá.
Um, por ejemplo, I don't know, like, are you marrying next month? Oh, you bet.
Ujú.
Ok. Y depende del contexto. Yo podría decir, you bet I do, apuesta que sí, o you bet I don't, apuesta que no. Ok. Entonces,
Ok.
dependiendo del contexto podríamos entenderlo, pero básicamente es bet es apostar.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So how are the exercises on the TOEFL? On the TOEFL, you will hear the first person says, Howard certainly is a talented journalist. Isn't he though? What does the woman mean? And you will read, she doesn't think Howard is talented. She agrees that Howard is talented. She doesn't know if Howard is a journalist. And she read Howard's journal. Ustedes pueden responderlo en la plataforma para ver si lo consiguen bien.
Profe, perdón, ¿me podría
Yes.
decir otra vez en que ya estoy dentro de la plataforma, pero como que me perdí poquito en
Ah.
dónde picar?
Claro. Estamos en la plataforma, entramos a Part A Dialogues.
Ah, ok, ajá.
Y aquí, a la mitad más o menos, vamos a encontrar Suggestions, Invitations, etc.
Ok, ok, gracias. Sí, aquí lo busco.
Sí, una vez que lo entremos, sería en la diapositiva 4. Okay. So, ¿cuál creen que es la respuesta?
La segunda.
She agrees that Howard is talented. That's right.
Yes.
Okay. Ah, ya se me fue. Okay, ahorita podemos regresar y ver las respuestas. Okay. A second example. It says, you will hear, I thought Cheryl's photographs were the best at the exhibit. I didn't really see it that way. What does the man mean? Okay, so what's the answer?
Could
She
be,
thought other.
hey,
I'm sorry?
Go ahead.
Okay, Luis, please go ahead.
in my case, I think that is letter C.
Letter C. He didn't go to the exhibit?
Yes.
I say number 4.
Number 4, that's right. It says he thought other photos were better than Cheryl's. Okay, let's see. Here we have the first person saying, I thought Cheryl's photographs were the best at the exhibit. Okay, we're talking about agreement or disagreement. The first person says something. He thinks Cheryl's photos are the best. And you need to say if the second person agrees or not. So if the answer will be or the same or completely different. Okay, so in this case, he didn't go to the exhibit. That will be something completely different because it's not even talking about the photos. This would be he thought other photos were better than Cheryl's. This one is expressing that the person disagrees with the first speaker. Okay, creo que podemos regresar aquí. Ya no me deja regresar para ver la primera. Ok. So, para poder responder estos ejercicios, lo primero es entender o practicar más estas frases que vimos al inicio, porque son las que se van a utilizar en los diálogos, ¿de acuerdo?
Sí.
Para poder identificar si la persona está de acuerdo o no respecto al primer diálogo. Now, we have some dialogues involving suggestions, invitations, offers, and requests. Okay? In these dialogues, you're going to listen to the two people talking, giving some suggestions or inviting someone else to do something. And what we have to do is, first, we need to learn or memorize these phrases that we use to express this, to express suggestions, to express invitations, etc. Because it's not normal to say, hey, do you want to go to the movies all the time? We might use different expressions, okay? So we have, for example, why don't we go to the movies? Or why not watch the movie? Have you ever thought of we or you might want to? I'm sorry, there's a mistake here. It says you or we could always. Maybe we could or try. If I were you, if I were in your shoes, we should, shouldn't, you. What about, what if you, and how about. So, vamos a ver el significado. ¿Tienen alguna duda sobre estas frases? ¿O la checamos?
No, I mean,
Perfect. Somebody else?
No.
Okay, perfect. So just let's practice these phrases so you understand when they are giving a suggestion or when they are inviting someone to do something, etc. Let's see. Here we have a list of phrases. Okay, there is a list of phrases, and you have to select all the positive responses to a suggestion. If I suggest to go to the movies and you want to say yes, would you say something like, I don't think so? No, right?
No.
Press agreement. So you're going to select from these phrases eight. Eight phrases are correct. So select the ones that you think expresses agreement for a suggestion or invitation.
Luis, how many?
Eight.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Ready? I think so.
Yes, perfect. ¿Cómo les fue? Oh, I got one wrong.
good. I only have two wrong.
Two wrong. That's good. Okay, so tell me, which ones do you think that are right?
Why didn't I think of that?
Sounds good.
Good. Sounds good to me. What else?
That's an
Idea.
idea. Why not?
Thanks. I'll give a try. I'll give
That's
that a
worth a
try.
try.
Uh-huh. We have 4, 5. 3 more.
Good
Good
idea.
idea.
Good idea.
Why didn't I
Didn't
think
I
enough?
that?
Uh-huh. And one more.
Can I take a rain check?
No.
Can I take a rate check? Yes?
No.
No,
No.
I already know of that.
Good. I already thought of that. Okay, can I take a rain check? Podría ser afirmativa, sin embargo, expresa para el futuro. Ok, como si yo dijera, ¿y si jugamos un juego de mesa? ¿Y si lo hacemos otro día? Como que, no te digo que no, pero mejor otro día. No estamos de humor para ello, ¿no? So we have, sounds good to me. That's an idea. Thanks, I'll give that a try. Why not? That's worth a try. I already thought of that. Good idea. And why didn't I think of that? Okay. Those are the 8 answers. Good. Sorry. I already thought of that. It's wrong. We're missing one. I think it would be by all means.
Are you sure that I already thought of that? Because I think
What?
I pressed that one. It was wrong.
And actually, yeah, this is not the one. It's by all means.
Ujú,
By all means, por
claro.
cualquier medio vamos a hacerlo, ¿ok? O de cualquier forma, we will do it. Yeah,
Okay.
it was by all means. So, how are these exercises on the TOEFL? Here you will hear, I'm doing so poorly in math class, I think I'm going to have to drop it. You know, Frank, you should talk to Professor DeMarco before you do anything. He has given special help to lots of students when we're having trouble. What does the woman suggest Frank do?
Discuss the problem with the professor.
Very good. Yeah, well, I think this one is actually easy. It's literally, you should talk to the professor. Okay, she is suggesting. Now, we're talking right now about suggestions. Now, let's talk about invitations. These are the phrases that we use when we want to invite someone to do something. Shall we? Would you like to? Would you care to? Would you be able to? Want to? Let's. Do you want to? Could you? And can you? Okay, I think they are actually really
Correct meaning or shall we? ¿Podríamos?
Shall we could be translated as deberíamos.
Okay.
Like deberíamos estudiar un poco más. Okay? Shall we study a little bit more?
And would you care?
Would you care? ¿Te importaría?
Okay. Really.
Okay, so one more time. Here we have positive and negative responses to these invitations. If we say, for example, I love to, but what do you think? Is it a positive or negative response?
Negative.
Good. That sounds nice, but
Negative.
I like to, but
Negative.
good. I'm sorry, but
Negative.
sure, thanks.
Positive.
Positive.
Good. Thanks a lot, but
Negative.
if you want me to,
Positive.
thanks for the invitation, but
Negative.
good. All right, I love to.
Positive.
Yes, let's.
Positive.
Positive.
I don't think I'll be able to make it this time.
Negative.
I like that.
Positive.
I'll pass.
Positive.
Negative.
Negative. It says pass. Yo paso.
Okay. Really
Don't mind if I do.
positive.
What a great idea.
Positive.
Good. Sure. Thanks for inviting me.
Positive.
Positive.
Good. And sounds good.
Positive.
Positive.
Very good. Questions about these phrases?
No.
Perfect. So, in this case, we have another example. You will hear, would you like to join us on Sunday? We're going to go on a picnic at the lake. I love to, but I have a test Monday and I have to get ready for it. What will the woman probably do on Sunday?
Study for a test.
That's right. Okay, she never said that she is going to study, but she mentioned that she
I
has.
saw that up.
I'm sorry?
N1 is made
One more time. What?
at the beginning of the sentences. N1. What's the meaning?
You mean here?
No, the exercise that we are answering. N1.
And one.
Yes. On the top.
Would you
Yes,
like
there. On the left.
on the lake? This one.
No. M1.
F1. I'm sorry. Yeah. Now I get it. F1. Okay. As I told you last class, I told you that when you listen to the dialogues, you will always listen to people talking.
Yes.
Normally, you will listen a male and a female.
Okay.
So here it means male one, he says something, and female one says something. And then a third person, normally it's a male, asks the question. That's what it means. Male one, female one, male two.
Okay. Me too is different to N1.
Me too. Yeah, it's a different person.
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. So it's study for a test. That's right. Okay, when we're offering something, normally we use these phrases. Let me, shall I? Would you like me to? Do you want me to? Can I? My, should I? And I could. Okay, questions about these phrases?
No.
Perfect. So now here we have to mark the positive responses to an offer. Positive responses to an offer. Which ones do you think that are positive?
Please do.
Please do.
Sure, thanks.
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 Yes, please.
Okay.
Thanks anyway.
You sure?
That would be nice.
Are you sure?
No, thanks anyway, no.
Okay. Very good. Well done. So another example. You will hear, should I make reservations for dinner Friday night? Thanks anyway, but I have already made them. What does the man mean?
Letter B.
Letter B?
He made reservations earlier.
That's right.
Yes, it's good.
Yep. He didn't say that the reservations were not necessary. He said that he made them earlier. Okay, then we have requests. Okay, when we request for something, normally we use expressions would you, could you, do you mind if, would you mind if, will you, might I, and can you.
Sorry, teacher, the meaning about or the difference between do you mind it and would you mind? ¿Te importa or te importaría?
That's right, yeah. It's only more like it's polite. Would is polite.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
Okay, that's it. Okay, now let's check it out. Here, I have, for example, a phrase that says, I'd be glad to. Okay, I'd be glad to. This one is a positive response. I'm going to show you a different, some different phrases, and you're going to tell me if it's positive or negative, okay? So, I'd be delighted. I'd be delighted. What is it, positive or negative?
Negative.
Do you know what is delighted?
Disappoint?
Nope.
Positive.
It's positive. Delighted means like encantado.
Okay.
It's a positive response. Sure thing.
Positive.
That's right. Positive.
Sure thing, what is the meaning?
Sure thing. It's like es más como algo cariñoso. Como decir, ay, claro, cosita. That's sure thing.
Okay.
Simplemente es el sure, es seguro. El thing está como de más, pero es una expresión y simplemente expresa sure. Certainly.
Positive.
That's right. Why not?
Positive.
Positive.
Good. If you want to.
Positive.
Good. If you'd like.
Positive.
Positive.
Good. You bet.
Positive.
Positive.
Good. Sorry, but.
Negative.
Negative.
Good. I like to, but.
Negative.
Good. I'm afraid not.
Negative.
Negative.
Good. I wish I could, but.
Negative.
Good. Now, for questions like, do you mind if, or would you mind if, the response, not at all, is positive or negative?
Positive.
Negative.
It's positive.
Oh,
What is it? It says, do you mind if? It's for example, if I said, do you mind if I use your computer? And you say, oh, not at all. Not at all means para nada. Okay, so it's a positive response. For the same question, do you mind if, or would you mind if the response is actually I do, is it positive or negative?
Positive.
Negative.
Ah, that's right, it's negative. One more time. Do you mind if I use your computer? Actually, I do. ¿Te importa si uso tu computadora? De hecho, sí me importa. I'm sorry, this is a mistake. It's not a positive. It's negative. The same question, do you mind if, or would you mind if? It says the response, I'm afraid I do.
Negative.
Very good. Me temo que sí. Do you mind if, or would you mind if? The response is, of course not.
Positive.
Good. And we're done here. Okay. So in these examples, you will hear something like, I have to make one more phone call before I go. Take your time. Would you just lock the office door when you finish? What does the woman want the man to do?
Lock the office.
Yes, letter A.
Letter A? Very good. That's it. Now, we have also some dialogues that involves contradictions, assumptions, and questions.
Assumptions, what's the meaning, teacher? Assumptions?
Asumir. Yeah.
Assumption.
So, for example, you will hear something like, Amy didn't work overtime last week. As a matter of fact, she did. What does the man say about Amy?
Letter B.
Yeah? What's the meaning of as a matter of fact?
De hecho.
That's right. So I'm saying, Amy didn't work overtime last week. And the second person says, as a matter of fact, she did. So it's not letter B. She never works overtime. It's not the answer. What's the answer?
She worked extra hours last week.
That's right. Okay, here we go. We're talking about contradictions. First, one person says something, and the second person says something completely different. The first person said that Amy didn't work, and the second person says, no, she did. She worked. She worked extra hours last week. This one. Martin always talks about how he loves to dance. Yes, but you don't see him out of, you don't see him out on the dance floor very often, do you? What does a woman say about Martin? Remember, we're talking about contradictions.
He doesn't like dancing very much.
That's right. He says that he loves to dance, but the woman says that he's actually never dancing. All of the students voted for the proposal to expand the student council. Well, most of them did anyway. What does a man mean? Guys?
Wait a second, please.
Yeah, sure.
I think that this is letter B in this case.
Okay.
Some of the students opposed the proposal.
Very good. Some of the students oppose the proposal. Guys, one more time, we're talking about contradictions. The first person says something, the second person contradicts that statement. So the first person said all of them, and the second person corrects. Well, not all, most of them did. Okay. Creo que sí lo podemos repetir, vamos a ver. No me deja repetirlo, tengo que recargar la página para volver a hacer. Ok. Bien, vuelvo a lo mismo. Ahorita el primer tema, acabamos de ver contradicciones, ¿de acuerdo? Y lo que quiero que noten aquí es de que siempre la primera persona va a decir una oración y la segunda persona lo contradice. Entonces, si se fijan, la respuesta realmente va a ser lo opuesto a lo que dijo la primera persona siempre. ¿Ok? Eso viene siendo para el primer tema, que es contradicciones. Vamos a pasar a assumptions. En this one, hay que tener cuidado porque estas se consideran las preguntas más difíciles.
Difíciles, sí.
Yeah. These questions are considered difficult. What are we talking about here? Okay. The first person is going to say something that he thinks, and the second person here, you recognize these questions because they will say the word "oh" at the beginning. Okay, it says the second speaker response often begins with the word "oh" and ends with the phrase "after all." So the answer to assumption questions is the reverse of what the second speaker thinks. Okay, so if you listen in the TOEFL that a person says, "oh," then says something else, and then finishes the phrase with "after all," the answer is the opposite of what this second speaker said. Okay, let's say it with an example. It says, "No, Judy's not here right now. She is at her economics class." "Oh, so she decided to take that course after all?" Here, the person is telling me that she decided to take that course. So remember, the answer is the opposite. Because the question is, what had the man assumed about Judy?
So she wouldn't take the course?
That's right. That's the opposite. Okay, here she is saying that she is taking the course, but the answer is she wouldn't take the course. Because we're asking, the question says assume. Okay,
Ah, ok, es como que ella asumió que no lo tomaría, pero
that's
en
right.
realidad sí lo tomó, ¿verdad?
Correcto.
Ajá, pero esta persona asumía que no lo iba a tomar. Ah, ok.
Correcto. Entonces, como la pregunta, igual lo van a notar con la pregunta cuando digo, what does she assume? Entonces, vamos a hablar sobre lo que asumió antes de lo que dijo. No estamos preguntando sobre qué fue lo que dijo, sino lo que ella creía antes de hablar. ¿Ok? Now, we also have questions. What are this? En este caso, vamos a enfocarnos a las preguntas que hacen en el diálogo. For example, it says, Professor Petrakis said that Mark Twain was his favorite writer. When did he say that? What does the man want to know?
I think when the professor made his remark.
Good. Very good. So sometimes we have questions about the questions that the second speaker asked. Now, sometimes we have to answer questions about activities, plans, topics, and problems. You have to listen to the dialogue and answer with these activities that they pretend to do. First, these kind of questions are kind of inference questions because you need to understand the context and imagine what they are doing. Okay, sometimes the activity is not mentioned. What is this? Maybe you will listen to people talking and they say, "Oh, teacher, sorry, I couldn't study for your exam. Is it okay if I present the exam tomorrow morning?" "Oh, yeah, sure. Don't worry. See you tomorrow morning then." The question is, where were they talking?
Mm-hmm.
In the dialogue, you never heard that they said, "Oh, we're in the school. Can we talk about the exam?" No, they never said the place where they were. Okay, so these are questions about activities. Well, I said a question about a place, but they might ask you, like, what were they doing while they were talking? Okay, so you need to understand the context so you can imagine the answer. Let's see an example. It says, is there room for that box up here? I'm sorry, there? I can fit it in the trunk. And this suitcase should fit in the back seat. What are the speakers probably doing? You know, trunk might help you. Back seat.
Loading a car.
Yep, that's right. Loading a car. Sorry. Okay, like they might going on a trip and they are loading the boxes and the suitcases on the car. The first person is asking if there is room or space for that box. The person says, like, it can fit. I can fit it in the trunk. Do you know what is trunk? Well, it's a trunk means cajuela, and backseat means asiento trasero. So obviously, we're not talking about a box. We're not talking about buying a suitcase. It might be boarding a plane or loading a car, but trunk, los aviones no tienen cajuela. So, sorry, en el ejercicio anterior se fijaron, nunca se mencionó el carro como tal, pero teníamos que imaginarnos qué era lo que estaban haciendo. ¿Ok? En este caso tenemos ahora preguntas acerca de los planes. What are they pretending to do? Okay, or what are they going to do in the future? For example, are you going to Boston with Michael this summer? Wish I could. But if I want to graduate next year, I've got to stay here and take a couple classes. What does the man plan to do this summer?
Graduate.
Nope.
Attend classes.
Sorry?
Attend classes.
Yes, very good. Attend classes. Graduate is what he is going to do next year.
Mm-hmm.
But they are asking him about this summer. Okay, so
Okay.
he said, I have to stay here and take a couple classes. There are also some questions about topics. In this case, the third speakers ask what the other two speakers are talking about. Okay, normally the topic is not mentioned. Okay, it's not usually mentioned. You must infer what they are talking about, the context of the dialogue. For example, have you seen this letter from the bursar's office? Oh no, not another increase. If you ask me, we're already spending too much to go to school here. What are these speakers talking about?
Higher tuition cost.
Good. Yes?
Yes, yes,
Higher
ajá.
tuition.
Yes.
Also, you will find some questions about problems. These questions follow dialogues in which the speakers are discussing some trouble one or both of them are having. The third speaker asks what the problem is. For example, Gordon, what happened to your window? When I was painting the house last week, I hit it with the ladder. What problem does Gordon probably have? He broke his ladder. His house needs painting. His window is broken, or he spilled some paint.
His window is broken.
That's right. So as you can see here on the dialogue, he never said that the window was broken. Not literally. You have to understand it. Now we have some dialogues with special verbs. I'm sorry. I know that I'm going like really fast with these topics, but relax. You will find them all the exercise here. For example, we were checking one by one. After the slides that we're checking, then we have determining if one speaker agrees or disagrees with the other speaker. So you will have a lot of exercises about the phrases that we check at the beginning and so on, okay? Here are contradictions, assumptions, and questions. And here is the one about plans, topics, and problems. Okay. So now let's talk with dialogues with special verbs. And here is the headache. Causative verbs. Guys, do you know the causative verbs?
Yes.
That's perfect. Okay, let's start. What are causative verbs? Causative verbs expresses that someone causes someone else to do something. Okay. When we use these verbs, it's kind of confusing for Spanish speakers because we don't use that structure. For example, you don't say, I cut my hair. In Spanish, we said, me corté el cabello. But literally, you didn't cut your hair. Someone else cut your own hair. So you don't say, I don't cut my own hair. You said, I have the stylish cut my hair. I have the stylish cut my hair. Or I have my hair cut. Have, in these two examples, is not expressing tener o haber. This one is only expressing that I cause, okay, it says someone causes someone else to do something. I cause the stylish cut my hair. Puede ser por cualquier motivo, porque le pagué, porque la obligué, porque la forcé, porque la convencí de que hiciera algo por mí. El verbo have, son 4 verbos, ahorita los vamos a ver. Se utiliza para expresar que hice que alguien más hiciera algo por mí. Y si se fijan, la estructura cambia. Normalmente todas las estructuras en inglés llevan sujeto, verbo y predicado. Aquí tenemos sujeto, verbo, y después tenemos el objeto. Es decir, aquella persona a la que forcé, pagué, obligué a que hiciera algo por mí. Y después debemos de tener siempre un verbo en pasado participio. Y por último, el objeto. El objeto al cual se le hizo la acción del verbo. O podemos expresarlo de la siguiente manera, omitiendo a la persona que lo hizo y simplemente decir, I have my hair cut. So, vamos a ver. First, we have the verb have. When you use have, there are 2 different options. Number 1, you say, have someone do something. It means the verb have, then the person, in this case, the mechanic, and then the verb on the verb form. Okay, not in present, not in past, on the verb form. Okay, or we can use have something, the object, and finally the verb in past participle. Okay. So normally we're going to use have in a formal situation, and we usually use have to express that I paid the other person to do something. Okay?
Teacher, sorry, what is the correct meaning between the first and the second? They had the mechanic fix his car, and they had his car fixed. In the first, for example, how would be the meaning?
There is not a literal translation because actually we don't do it in Spanish.
Yes.
Okay, the first sentence would be translated as El mecánico arregló el carro de Dave.
Ah, ok.
¿Sí? Pero estoy expresando que el mecánico no lo hizo gratis, que se le pagó al mecánico para que lo hiciera.
Sí.
Y en la segunda simplemente digo, Dave arregló su carro. Pero sabemos que Dave no sabe nada de mecánica. Es obvio que él no lo arregló. Él pagó porque alguien más lo hiciera, pero no importa quién lo hizo. ¿Me
Ah,
explico?
ok. Yes.
Voy a abrir PowerPoint para ahorita también poder escribir e irles explicando un poquito más esta parte, ¿va?
Thank you, teacher.
The second causative verb is get. We use normally get in informal situations. And as you can see here, we have something different. We use get, the person, and then we use the infinitive verb. Get someone to do something. Okay, and if we go back, when we use have, we say have someone do. And with get someone to do something. So I said Jerry got his cousin to cut his hair. Or get something done. It's the same. The verb in past participle after the object. As I told you, we use have normally to express that you paid for something, but when we use get is when you obligate or when you persuade another person to do something for you. Okay? Now we have make. When we use make, I said make someone do something. This we don't have the option with the object. We always have to mention the person who does the action. Make someone do something. After the person, we always use the verb in its bare form. Katie made her son do his homework. And normally it says, or we use made when we force or obligate a person to do something. Okay? And finally, we have the verb let. It says, let someone do something. And one more time, we have to always mention the person. And in this case, we also use the verb on its verb form. We're going to use let when we permit or allow another person to do something. Okay? Let me show you here. So we're talking about causative verbs. Okay, now, as I said, this in Spanish is not used. That's why we cannot translate the sentences literally, okay? En español, siempre nosotros nos quedamos con el crédito de todo. Por ejemplo, yo puedo decir, construí mi casa. Pues sí, pero no soy albañil, no sé ni siquiera poner un ladrillo. Entonces, en español no necesariamente tenemos que decir que alguien más construyó mi casa. Pero siempre nos quedamos con el crédito diciendo, construí mi casa, me corté el cabello, pinté mi casa. En inglés, nosotros utilizamos los causative verbs para poder expresar o ser más literales y expresar que yo no lo hice, sino que alguien más lo hizo por mí. Para ello va a haber dos situaciones. La primera, cuando la persona, the person, is important. Cuando la persona es importante, es decir, cuando yo quiero expresar quién lo hizo, no es lo mismo que yo les diga, un mecánico arregló mi carro, a que yo les diga, Johnny Depp arregló mi carro. ¿Ok? La persona es importante y creo que si les digo que un mecánico lo arregló, pueden decir como que, pues chido por ti, ¿no? O sea, cualquier mecánico pudo hacerlo. Pero si yo quiero expresar o hacer un énfasis en que Johnny Depp fue la persona que arregló mi carro, entonces vamos a usar una estructura diferente. ¿Vale? Primero, dijimos que en este caso podemos utilizar have or get. Cuando la persona es importante, voy a decir primero, en este caso, yo, el carro era mío, yo hice que Johnny Depp lo arreglara y demás. Comenzamos con la persona. El verbo have, este verbo have puede ir conjugado en el tiempo que querramos hablar. ¿Ok? Si obviamente yo estoy haciendo en este momento que Johnny Depp arregle mi carro, lo puedo decir en presente, lo puedo decir en pasado también. Vamos a ponerlo en pasado. I had, y después tenemos que decir la persona. I had Johnny Depp fix my car. Esto sería para una oración más formal. Sin embargo, si yo utilizo el verbo get, tengo que decir I had Johnny Depp to fix my car. ¿Ven la diferencia entre las dos oraciones? En la primera utilizamos el verbo sin la palabra to, en su forma base, solo fix. Pero cuando utilizamos get, el verbo tiene que ir en infinitivo. I'm sorry. Sorry. Aquí vuelvo a escribir had. Quiero decir got. I got Johnny Depp to fix my car.
Teacher, sorry, but I don't know, the meaning is mi carro lo arregló Johnny en ambos casos.
Ajá.
Ok. Y si fuera en presente, mi carro lo arregla Johnny. I had Johnny did fix my car.
Correcto. ¿Cuál sería la diferencia? Yo podría decir I had Johnny Depp fix my car or Johnny Depp fixed my car. ¿Cuál sería la diferencia entre estas dos oraciones? Simple. En la primera, expreso que yo le pagué a Johnny Depp o yo convencí a Johnny Depp para que lo arreglara. Y en la segunda solamente digo que lo hizo. A lo mejor él ni siquiera me conoce o no sabía que era mi carro.
Ok, yes.
¿Ok? Esa es la diferencia. En la primera estamos expresando que yo conseguí que alguien más hiciera algo por mí. Por el método que haya sido, ¿no? Le pagué, lo soborné, lo secuestré, lo que sea, pero conseguí que esta persona hiciera algo por mí. ¿Ok? That's when the person is important. Cuando no importa la persona que realizó la acción, digo, yo me corté el cabello. ¿Importa quién me lo cortó? Pudo haber sido mi abuelita, pudo haber sido el estilista de Hollywood, cualquier persona, ¿no? Pero como no es importante en este caso, vamos a utilizar la siguiente estructura. Voy a decir, I had my hair cut. Voy a cambiar la oración para que veamos el verbo. I had my nails done. Cuando la persona no es importante, no la mencionamos y mencionamos cuál fue el objeto que fue modificado. I had my nails done or I got my nails done. Me hicieron las uñas, me pintaron las uñas, algo. ¿Ok? Obviamente no lo hice yo, le pagué a alguien para que me pusiera uñas y demás. Y lo importante aquí es que en ambos casos el verbo se escribe en pasado participio.
Ok, the difference is the verb, the base. Ok.
Correcto. Entonces aquí tenemos el objeto y después el verbo en pasado participio. Y aquí teníamos la persona después del had, el verbo en su forma base y después el objeto. Y aquí teníamos la persona y después el verbo en infinitivo, to fix. Cuando utilizamos los verbos make y let, estos siempre van a hacer referencia a una persona, así que la persona siempre tiene que ser mencionada. Entonces yo voy a decir, por ejemplo, I made my son do his homework. Okay? I made my son do his homework. Hice que mi hijo hiciera su tarea. And the same with let. I let my daughter go to the party. ¿Ok? Siempre después, entonces, de estos dos verbos, del verbo make o del verbo let, debe de ir una persona. En este caso, my daughter, y en este caso, my son. Y el verbo va a estar siempre en su forma base. Yo puedo estar hablando de my daughter, pero no va a ser my daughter goes. Va a ser my daughter go. ¿Ok? ¿Qué sucede aquí? Como estas estructuras están un poco revoltosas y más para un hablante hispano, porque no estamos acostumbrados a decir las cosas de esta manera, podemos entender algo diferente en el audio. ¿Ok? Vamos a ver cómo serían los ejemplos. For example, it says, did you speak to the head of the department? No, she had her assistant meet with me. What does the woman mean?
I think it's the second one. She meet with the assistant to the head of the department.
Very good. Yes. Con she se refiere a la directora, la encargada. She had her assistant. Hizo que su asistente se reuniera conmigo. So, she met with the assistant. That's right. Okay. Último confusing verb. Okay, do you know what is be used to?
Como solía hacer.
Good.
Yes.
Do you know what is get used to?
Yes.
And what is be used to?
Estar acostumbrado.
Good. Now, what's the difference? How do you use them? You use be used to. Escribí el mismo dos veces, I'm sorry. Be used to plus, and get used to plus. Okay. How do you say, I am used to what? Can you please complete the sentence? I am used to this one.
I'm used to get up earlier in the morning.
Sorry.
Early in the morning, sorry.
The verb must be in gerund. I am used to getting up early in the morning. Every time you use be used to, it must be followed by a gerund verb. Okay? Now, get used to. How would you complete the sentence? I got used to.
To eat spicy when I went to Mexico.
Aquí tenemos, estos en realidad nos confunden porque estamos acostumbrados a que siempre después de la palabra to va un verbo en infinitivo. Okay? To eat, to play, to run. Pero be used to y get used to son parte de estos confusing verbs y siempre que utilicemos be used to y get used to tienen que ir seguidos de un verbo en gerundio. I got used to waking up early. I got used to eating spicy food. On the other hand, we have used to, and used to is always followed by an infinitive verb.
I used to play
That's right.
basketball.
Yes,
When
I
I was a
used
child.
to play basketball. Good. What are the meanings or what are the differences? Used to, solía. Be used to, suelo, soler. And get used to, acostumbrarse. Okay. I used to play basketball, solía jugar basquetbol. I am used to play soccer, yo suelo jugar fútbol. And I get used to playing, I don't know, racquetball. Me acostumbro a jugar racquetball. Básicamente tenemos que aprendernos sobre estos tres verbos, ¿ok? Be used to va a ir seguido siempre de un gerundio, get used to de un gerundio y used to de un verbo en infinitivo. Okay, so let's check one more. So the expression used to has two forms. Each has two different meanings. As I said, used to, it's always plus the verb in simple form. As I said, I used to live, which would be just an infinitive verb, to live. Okay? I used to live in New York means I once lived in New York, but now I don't. And as I said, be or get plus used to is always followed by a gerund or a gerund or ing verb, which is the same. Or it can be followed by a noun phrase. For example, here we said, I got used to the dark. Me acostumbré a la oscuridad. Okay, no tenemos un verbo aquí. We have a phrase. So for example, here we have, I am not used to driving on the left side of the road, which means I am not accustomed to driving on the left side. Or I have finally gotten used to my new job, which is a noun phrase. Means I have finally become accustomed to my new job. Okay, the dialogues in this section take advantage of these two functions of used to. Para confundirnos, utilizan estas tres formas de used to. ¿Vamos bien hasta aquí?
Sí.
Yep, perfect. So for example, you will hear, what does Hank's father do for a living? He's a salesman now, but he used to be a truck driver. What does the man say about Hank's father?
He owns drop truck.
He once dropped trucks.
That's right. Very good. Y si se fijan, de lo primero que vimos la clase pasada, en estas otras dos oraciones, las últimas dos, están utilizando el verbo use, pero no como used to, sino con el significado de usar, o en el otro ejemplo, como útil. Okay, utilizan la palabra que se mencionó, pero no tiene nada que ver con lo que se dijo. Very good. Ok. Chicos, con esto terminamos el día de hoy, lo que viene siendo la parte A, Dialogues. Recordemos que la primera sección de Dialogues está dividida en tres partes. Dialogues, Mini Talks, and Extended Conversations. Terminamos apenas la primera parte de los diálogos. ¿De acuerdo? La próxima clase continuaremos con Mini Talks. E igual, aquí tenemos los ejercicios con las expresiones que utilizan el used to, para que puedan practicarlos, ¿de acuerdo? Guys, do you have any questions with this?
Teacher, nada más así,
Yes.
la diferencia entre be used to and used to, dijimos
Ajá.
que be used to era
Ok.
no. Sí,
Let's do it. Podemos verlo de esta manera. Be used to expresa que la acción se realiza frecuentemente. ¿Ok? Un ejemplo. Yo me gradué de la escuela, pero pues yo no usaba corbatas, ¿no? Entonces, yo podría decir, I used to wear t-shirts. Solía usar playeras. Dijimos aquí, esto ya no se hace más. Yo ya no uso playeras. Todo el día que estoy trabajando utilizo camisas. So, I used to wear t-shirts. I don't do it anymore. Now, I am used to wearing shirts. Ahora suelo usar camisas. As I said, it says usually. frecuentemente, seguido, uso camisas. In the future, I will get used to wearing a tie. ¿Ok? Aunque utilizo camisas por mi trabajo y demás, todavía no me acostumbro a usar la corbata. This is hard for me. Get used to se utiliza para poder expresar que algo nos es difícil. Lo trato de hacer como rutina, utilizo la corbata todos los días, pero después de una hora ya siento que me está ahorcando, tengo mucho calor. Es porque me cuesta trabajo. Pero después de, no sé, 5 o 6 meses de que la estoy utilizando, me voy a acostumbrar y ya después me voy a sentir raro si no traigo una corbata. ¿Ok? Entonces, used to, solía, be used to, soler, y get used to, acostumbrarse. Aquí hay un
Perfecto.
detalle. Podríamos escribir dos oraciones muy similares. Por ejemplo, I used to play soccer. Sorry. And I was used to playing soccer. Okay. Los tres verbos be used to, get used to, bueno, excepto used to, perdón, este no. Used to solamente se puede utilizar en pasado, ¿de acuerdo? Used to siempre, siempre, siempre se utiliza para poder hablar en pasado. Be used to y get used to se pueden utilizar para hablar en pasado, en presente, or future. Entonces, ¿qué sucede si yo utilizo be used to en pasado? Yo diría algo como I was used to playing soccer. La traducción sería la misma que I used to play soccer. Solía jugar fútbol y solía jugar fútbol. Porque si yo lo utilizo en presente, yo diría I am used to playing soccer. Y significa yo suelo jugar fútbol. Por lo tanto, la oración de be used to en pasado y la oración de used to en pasado se traducen de la misma manera. Pero hay una leve diferencia. Y aquí es simplemente que nos expresa que esta acción se hacía en el pasado, ya no se hace más, pero se hacía recurrentemente. ¿Ok? Es la única diferencia. Lo que nos expresa si utilizamos el was used to en lugar del used to solamente.
Teacher,
Yes.
sorry, and in the another case, I could say I was gotten used to playing soccer.
I was gotten? No, I have gotten.
Okay.
Sí, podríamos utilizarlo en presente perfecto. I have gotten. Bueno, esto va. I have gotten used to run. Running, I'm sorry. Or I have got.
But not I was gotten.
Oh, sí, las dos. Bueno, es que aquí hay un detalle. Gotten es correcto, pero gotten es británico.
Yes.
Gotten es la conjugación del pasado participio del verbo get, pero está en británico. En el inglés americano, el verbo get, el pasado participio es got, y el pasado simple también es got. Get, got. Y en británico, get, gotten. Las dos serían correctas, estarían hablando en presente perfecto, y aquí dirían, yo me he acostumbrado a correr. Ambas oraciones, pero una sería británico y la otra sería americano. ¿Ok? Chicos, ¿alguna otra duda?
Yes, teacher. The lax. But not is correct to say I was gotten. Is not correct.
No.
Okay, teacher.
En este caso, por ejemplo, si estuviéramos hablando en pasado simple, tenemos sujeto más el verbo en pasado más el complemento. Entonces deberíamos tener el I was Y nada más, ¿no? I was hit, por ejemplo. Si yo utilizo I was gotten, aquí yo tengo un verbo en pasado y un verbo en pasado participio. Creo que esto podría llegar a ser, por ejemplo, my house was painted. Podría ser aquí. My house was painted. Cuando tenemos el verbo to be después un verbo en pasado participio, esto se convierte automáticamente en passive voice. Ya
I
es
should-
otro tema completamente diferente. ¿Perdón?
Excuse me. I should say goodbye right now.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's time. Thank you. See you next class.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Bye bye.
Okay, teacher.
Bye. Luis, esto podría ser, pero sería una oración en voz pasiva. Y aquí no tendría sentido el gotten. Te podría poner, por ejemplo, un ejemplo, like I was hidden. Bueno, también es pasado participio de británico. I was hit. Es también. Sí puede ser correcto, pero aquí estamos hablando de una oración en voz pasiva.
Oh, yes. Okay,
Cuando
teacher.
tengas el verbo to be y un verbo en pasado participio, eso es voz pasiva.
Okay.
¿Vale? También vamos a ver la voz pasiva más adelante. Chicos, ¿alguien más? ¿Alguna otra duda?
No, teacher.
No? Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you and see you next week on Tuesday.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
teacher.
teacher.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Bye.
See you, friends.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Bye. See you.